your shell on.
Turtle jumps. Really?
I see the light!
Hang in there, pal.
Everybody be cool. I'm on it.
Bentley, I can't feel my hands!
Stay cool, big guy.
Pretty sure I'm going into shock right now!
We're running out of time, Sly.
Hey, no clocks, Bentley. It throws me off.
We're too late.
Not on my shift. Oh, seriously?
So hungry!
For the last time, you really need to see a doctor about this. Because it's
Just remember...
not normal,
the good
Murray.
times.
This always happens when you skip your afternoon fruit.
What about-
No, a chocolate orange does not count.
But it tasted like fruit!
No buts. Sly? And of course, you're gone.
Go, go, go!
Why can't we just order pizza like normal people?
Sprinkles. Ooh, hey, how about this profile? Oh, wait, good show! Oh, no, how about like this? Excuse me.
That was actually pretty clever. I did not see that ending coming, and it totally changed the way I felt about the entire trailer. When Sly Cooper first spotted that O at the police station sign, I thought for sure he'd tell Murray the hippo, and I'm already learning their names after just watching the trailer once, so it's very effective in that regard already. But I thought he was going to say, hey Murray, this is a new type of donut, and Murray would be like, okay, and it would either be the best donut he ever ate, or he'd chip one of his hippo teeth on it. And so, you know, just your typical cartoon hijinks. So I was like, okay, let's get on with it. But then to have that jump cut to a very clever, almost human, real-world solution to their problem, where Sly figured out that, hey, if this police station is right across from the donut shop, surely they have a lot of donuts in supply already that they purchased, and so he decides to steal them. I thought was great. It was really great. And then I thought even the cherry on top of that was that the police decided the donuts were good enough that it was worth giving chase. And it just gave me faith that even though this looks like it's a movie for very small children, that if parents had to go or adults had to go with their kids, or if they were fans of the video game, because I'm sure a lot of you right now are being like, hey Grace, I play that video game and I'm not a small child. There's something for older viewers here. There's something here for older viewers to enjoy. But it still looks like it skews overall pretty young to me. And not only maybe because of the fact that I'm getting a lot of nut job vibes from this. You know, the nut job just hit theaters, surprisingly successful though, so it's not an insult to this movie. The nut job is the biggest, as you might recall from Movie Math, the biggest opening ever for an animated film not from a major studio, and they've already greenlit the sequel. So I think that this film, Sly Cooper, would be very fortunate to follow in its footsteps. But this, of course, doesn't come out till 2016. This is a very early teaser. But I am curious as to for people who play this video game, what's the demographic here? I'm not a gamer. I'm not familiar with it. Movies, comics, and TV, and real-world news pretty much take up all of my time. And even when I did play video games when I was a kid, I liked world-building games. I'm really into world-building, and maybe that's where my love of world-building in movies comes from. But, you know, that's what really fascinates me personally. So I'd be curious to know, people who play this game, do you still play it? Is it just for small kids, or what age group, and how does this look to you? But what really fascinates me most about this trailer, besides the fact that it seems somewhat viable as a film, and that there is interest online when it dropped yesterday, so that's a good sign right there, but this is the beginning. This is the beginning of video games making their own movies. This is being made through the people who make the game, and they've decided to just make one really long cinematic and release it in theaters, which is what I've been saying Warner Brothers should be doing all along with their DC properties, because that trailer for the DC Cinematic Universe game they created is one of the best things I've ever seen, and I've been saying for a long time that I wish they just made that into an computer animated movie. It was done very well and very effective, and it really allows you to show these powers in a way that's maybe too expensive for live action, particularly when you're dealing with characters like the Justice League, which they're a very power-heavy group. I mean, that's why you see characters fly so little in live-action films, because every time they lift off, it costs the studio money. So, like, maybe he can just, we cut to when he's already there, or he just lands. All right, so anyway, so I think that, many of you have asked me, I got this question before, saying, do you think video game movies are the next frontier for Hollywood after the success they've had with comics? And I say, don't forget the fact that video games were actually first, but most of them didn't work out as adaptations. And I think that's because, and I think the only reason comic book movies have worked out, by the way, is because comic book companies like Marvel got involved. Marvel by far and away is the most success, and that's because they have their own studio that Disney leaves alone, by the way. We're hearing stories about Warner Brothers just giving tons of notes to their for the DC film to David Goyer, and the fact, they have people running it. They hired David Goyer to run it instead of someone from their comic book universe. Although, if you watched my review of Son of Batman, I don't know who they would pick from DC to run their movies because I think DC is such a mess. But anyway, on to video games. I think video games and Hollywood have always had a very difficult relationship because while comics are on the page, it's a static visual storytelling medium. So I think that Hollywood can at least initially argue that they will do a better job adapting it to a moving image. Video game companies already make great cinematics that are very good and getting better all the time. So it's gonna be hard for them to just say, okay, Hollywood, here's our brand, go either, probably mess it up. But we know that we do just as good a job. I mean, you see all these ads for video games these days when they go, it's basically like making a movie. We're making an animated movie, but it's even more so because it's choose your own adventure, right? They're already doing choose your own adventure in video games. So I think when you see a video game company like this take their own property and release it themselves, I think everybody in the video game industry will be watching this to see how it does. And if it does well, so that's a reason to go see it right there. But if this movie were to do well in 2016 when it comes out, you might see more and more video game companies saying, we're just going to do this ourselves. And that would be very difficult and very scary for Hollywood, which is maybe why they were not willing to let Microsoft be involved with the Halo movie and why it never actually went through, because they didn't want to set a precedent of allowing video games companies to be involved. But I'm glad that finally video game companies, as they see smaller distributors like Open Road with the Nut Job, have success at the box office. Look at Summit. Summit was very small before Twilight, and then now, of course, they're big. So why couldn't a video game company release, look at video games already make tons of money as it is that compete with movies in terms of revenue. So why not get into the box office arena? And that would no longer give Hollywood a monopoly on movie theater screens, which is a very scary prospect indeed. But maybe they need to be scared to, give them the motivation they need to maybe put out some good product. All right, so that's my review of this trailer. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everyone who asked. Write down below what you think of the Sly Cooper trailer, what you think of this potential evolution for Hollywood, and you can watch some more episodes right now.